Hi, this is Carter Frazier, and my project is on optimizing a fantasy baseball team. And your first question might be, is this really worth optimizing? To which I would say that the Fantasy Sports Trade Association reports that in 2013, 33.5 million adults in the US played fantasy sports, of which I was one. And also, there are many websites, such as RotoWorld and Fantasy Pros, exclusively dedicated to fantasy sports, some of which have paid subscriptions. So clearly someone thinks this is important. So I'll get to what exactly I'll be optimizing in a second, but first let me explain how one popular kind of fantasy baseball works. You own a team of players who generate statistics in the real world, and your team's performance is the composite of these statistics. I'll be working with one type of league called categories, where the goal is to win the most statistics, but it doesn't matter how big you win a statistic, just that you win a lot of them. So my goal for this project has been to find the optimal fantasy baseball team for a league with varying categories given known statistics. So I'm trying to find the best team that you could assemble given a league's rules if you knew all of the players' statistics. So for example, using a past year's statistics. If you have no familiarity with baseball or fantasy sports, this might all be a little confusing. So let's pretend this is a multi-criteria knapsack problem, where the players are different things to put in the knapsack, and the statistics are value metrics. But here's the catch. It's not about winning any statistic by a large margin, it's about winning the most individual categories. So it's not about trying to maximize any single metric, it's about maximizing the amount of metrics maximized. It's a compound goal. So my solution is to conceptualize the problem as a customized genetic algorithm, where the population is many randomly generated teams of players, an individual is an individual team of players, a chromosome is any one player on the team, an allele is a given statistic for an individual player, and the fitness function is the aggregate statistics for a team of players. But meaningfully, fitness can only be assessed compared to another individual team. There is no single fitness value, there are multiple, and the goal is to maximize the most. So this has actually long been a passion project of mine, which I've been working on for a while and have generated now almost 1,000 lines of MATLAB code for, but the principles of this class have been very useful in progressing the project. I used data from Fangraphs based on the 2016 season, and for the program I input an Excel spreadsheet of player data, the categories or statistics being considered, the amount of players per team, and how many trial teams to generate, so how thoroughly the program searches and how long it takes to search. How it works is it takes an initial guess of a best team, looks for random teams that can beat this team. If it finds a team that can, it saves it as the new best team and keeps looking for teams that can beat both the current best team and teams that can beat all previous best teams. And the difference between teams that can beat the current best team and teams that can beat all previous best teams is very important, and I'll go into it more in my written report. What the program outputs is the best team to beat all previous best teams, so the team that is proven to beat all the previous best teams before it, the most frequent players to appear on current best teams, and a plot of when new optimums were found so that we can see that genetic algorithm level off of better optimums being found and fewer new optimums being found. So here's one possible result based on a fairly standard league setup which searches for around 5 minutes. These names may not mean much to many people, but a few may recognize a surprisingly high number of relievers on the pitcher list, which is a result I see a lot and I will comment on in my final report more. As you can see though, I do see a downward trend of new optimums being found the longer the search continues, which is very encouraging because it means that we are seeing better and better results as you would expect with a genetic algorithm results plot. So some things for further study would be how much do varying league rules affect optimum player and player rankings. This is something I'll just be running more simulations in the coming week to report on in my written report. What potential flaws may there be in conventional wisdom of fantasy sports? What is actually being revealed by the study? And how can this be applied to the real world, or I suppose the real fantasy world? What are the actual takeaways from this and how people should play fantasy sports? Thank you.